Hey everyone, how's it going? Oh, well, I just thought, hey, Scott, this is a completely unscripted, completely spontaneous video that I'm going to make. I just want, let you guys know that, oh, I'm still happy to review movies as many times as I like. Well, I gotta tell you, folks, that for the, past month, I've been watching a lot of 80s movies. Like, I was watching from 1980 to 1989, right down. And there was a lot of good 80s classics out there. And um, really enjoyed my little marathon. And I decided, hey, what about just talking about some of my favorite 1980s films? Well, of course, I'll be talking about some very popular ones that some of you might have heard of, and some you might not have heard of. So let's get started. So, let's see. Well, let's start in the early 80s. We have one of my favorite animated classics, The Fox and the Hound. That it was a very good film. A little fun. Of course, if you don't know Fox and the Hound, it's about a fox and a hound who become friends, even though that they're supposed to be enemies. But then they get older and they start becoming enemies. But then um, they become friends again. But it's a very cute movie and very well animated. A little fun fact: it was one of the first films to be animated by what is known as the nine old men in the 1950s. In the early days of Walt Disney Studios, there was the Nine Old Men that you might not know about: Wolfman, Brotherman, Mark Davis, um, so many others. Frank Thomas, Ollie Johnston, and they worked on classic films like Fantasia, Pinocchio, all these classic hits. Well, when Walt Disney opened up um, the Animation Academy, CalArts in California. Um, Basically, the first like really success, like they got the Nine Old Men were there to teach brand new animators that to kind of go to the next level of the new Disney movies. Some of these people include Glenn Keane, who you might know his animation for animating Tarzan in 1999's Tarzan, as well as his many contributions to Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, so many others, the Pocahontas. Also, John Lasseter, the man who created Pixar, was in that area. He also helped animate The Fox and the Hound. And also, weird guy named Tim Burton. He didn't really do much after. He just made a couple of good movies. That's it, really. But um, anyway, after these guys, they animated Fox and the Hound, and it turned out to be a really great movie. Another good 1980s film that I can honestly just think of are all the great John Hughes films. You might not know the name, but you might know his movies. He created such films as Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Breakfast Club, um, Pretty in Pink, Weird Science, 16 Candles, and 1990s Home Alone. The guy was a really big genius, and I have a very good appreciation for him. And um, he has created lots of funny movies, but gotta give the top spot to Ferris Bueller. You know, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop around and look once in a while, you could miss it. I mean, those lines just perfect, man. And also you gotta love The Breakfast Club. Like you know, just a bunch of teenagers stuck in a school on a Saturday, and for a film that's completely in one location, that is a very good film, and it has so many incredible lines to it. And let's see what else. Well, of course I can't forget 1985's Back to the Future. Doc, you can't just go to the store and buy plutonium. Did you rip that off? Great Scott, Marty, no! I got them from Iranian terrorists. Of course, you can't mess with the classic Marty McFly goes into Dr. M. Brown's time machine DeLorean and goes back to the past, meets his parents, kisses his mom in a romantic way, and tries to set things right again while playing Johnny B. Good to a bunch to people who don't even know who Chuck Berry is. Let's see what else. There's so many other great '80s films. I watched a lot of for horror. I watched a lot of John Carpenter films. Now he created a lot of very gruesome films in the 1980s, like The Thing, and Big Trouble in Little China. That movie's really funny. If you have not watched that, it's really funny. It's about this truck driver, and he's helping his buddy save this princess from this evil Chinese wizard, and it's just redonkulous, my friends. It is very fun, but it's very funny though. I highly recommend it. And of course, I've talked about The Thing and how its effects are still hold up to the day. It's all practical, of course, and of course, most of these movies they have John Carpenter's regular Kurt Russell. And speaking of which, John Carpenter watched the first slasher film, Halloween, and that film inspired so many others, like Nightmare on Elm Street, another '80s classic that I watched, Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. It's a very good film, you know. It's a guy with little knives on his fingers. It goes by the name of Freddy Krueger. You may have heard of him. And also we had the Friday the 13th series after and, after Halloween, and all these films just kept getting slasher films, and but no one can really top Halloween. That's like the original slasher film for me. Also, watched Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead, and The Evil Dead 2. Both great films. It's just Sam Raimi just torturing his best friend Bruce Campbell for an hour and 30 minutes. It's about a guy who goes up to this woods with his friends, and his name's Ash, and he reads this book that summons these demons that possess people, and it's a really funny, really scary, really creepy, really funny kind of film, and it's a good mix of horror and comedy, and I love it very much. And of course, you know Sam Raimi. He's the guy who gave you the Spider-Man memes, and so we have that to thank for him. The emo bully bully Peter Parker. Yeah, we can thank him for that. Good job. Round of applause for Sam Raimi. Don't get me wrong, I love the guy. He's one of my favorites. Let's see what else. I watched a lot of pretty dark animation movies. I believe one that I watched was the anime Akira. It's a dystopian anime future movie. Lots of really cool animation there. Bombs and motorcycles, and it's really cool. I also watched, The Brave Little Toaster. It's about a group of appliances going to the big city from their small cottage to find their master, who they knew since he was a boy, and they miss him, so they go and find him, and they get into this big adventure, and it's like a really crazy adventure. Let's see, what else? I watched David Cronenberg's The Fly. Now, that one was weird. Jeff Goldblum uses his transporter machine, and accidentally his genes are spliced with a fly, and throughout the film, he's just becoming more and more non-human and more and like a fly, and it's really good, really freaky. Let's see what else. I watched some of James Cameron's first movies. You might know them. The first one you might know is the Terminator. You'll know the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he's a robot and sent from the future to kill a lady because she's gonna have a son who's gonna kick their butt in the future. And also I watched Aliens. Game over, man, game over. A great 80s film. Lots of action. Let's see what else. I watched another great John Carpenter film called They Live, and that one is about this guy who finds a pair of glasses, and he finds the truth that the world is actually run by aliens, and they use subliminal messages in like advertisement and money to make humans obey. And it's a really good like political commentary film. Um, and there's so many other great 80s hits that I watched. I watched a good animated film called The Secret of Nim. It's about this mouse who's Mrs. Brisby, who has a son, and he has ammonia, and she has to find a way to protect him because the farm like there's this thing where the farmer's gonna destroy all the mice, but she can't move her son or she'll die. But if she stays, then her and her whole family will die. It's a great film, well animated. Don Bluth, the man who created Anastasia, The Land Before Time, he's the director for that film, and it's really good. Give that a check out. Um, hmm, another good 80s film. Da, 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 da. Um, hmm. Well, um, oh, Batman. Tim Burton's Batman. 1989 Batman, you know, the film that took the Adam West campiness of the 60s and turned it into a more grittier, much more interesting version of Batman that has been progressing today. This is the Batman a lot of people really understand more, the very dark and gritty, and that really started with this movie, Batman 1989, where he fights off against the Joker. Michael Keaton plays Batman brilliantly. He actually looks like he's crazy enough to be Batman. And of course he improvised the line, "I'm Batman!" And Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Can't go wrong there. Speaking of Jack Nicholson, we also have Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. That's another great film. You know, here's Johnny. I made a great review with that with me and a buddy of mine. Check it out if you haven't. And I think that's enough talking about the 1980s movies. I hope that you're all doing well. I'm sending my heart out to all of you during these times, and hopefully we can uh, hopefully we can just put this behind us until the coronavirus will be nothing but what we see in the movies. Speaking of which, I think it would be a great. I think there's going to be lots of movies like the coronavirus. Like they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this virus turned us all into zombies. And and like everyone wearing them, and yet you have to wear a mask to protect yourself from zombieitis. Something like that. I don't know. Well, you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching me rant about 1980s movies. I know that I had lost my train of thought sometimes, but hey, what can I do? It's the movies.